Welcome to another episode of Smartboard Tuesdays. I'm Jeff Seville, the Executive Director here at CEI. And today's topic at the Smartboard is probably our most interesting topic so far, and that is flash mob law. We have an expert in this field today, Ruth Carter, and she's going to talk to us all about the do's and don'ts of putting on a flash mob. I can't say I've ever put on a flash mob, Ruth, so take it away. Let's get into this. This is cool.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Yes, my name is Ruth Carter. I am a flash mob attorney, only one of two such attorneys in the country. I operate here in Phoenix. There's my website. And just for my standard disclaimer, I am an attorney. However, I am not your attorney. If you need an attorney, go hire one. But I am here today to provide some general information about flash mobs and flash mob law. I am a co-founder of Improv Arizona here in Phoenix. We plan flash mobs all over the valley. We hope to see it one soon. So I know most people plan flash mob just to have fun and entertain an unsuspecting audience, and I think that's great. However, and unfortunately, you have to be thinking about what is the worst thing that could possibly happen from the beginning, because when most people get in trouble, it's not because they wanted to do something wrong, but because they didn't think their plans all the way through. So, yeah, when you are in the planning stages, I encourage you to call an attorney if you're really pushing the envelope, but otherwise think about how many things could we be accused of doing wrong, and start from there, because before your flash mob, you could inadvertently commit conspiracy by trying to plan a flash mob, and solicitation if you are inviting people to participate in a flash mob that happens to involve a crime. Just like it's illegal to, ask someone to kill your spouse, it's also illegal to ask people to commit assault by maybe having a pillow fight and including people who didn't voluntarily come to hit people with pillows. So start with that. Now, while you're planning your flash mob, you want to give your participants rules to follow about what their do's and don'ts are, because of course you've done your homework and you know what people can and can't do. So some of the laws I've had to look up over the years in my research are things like indecent exposure, when we rode the light rail in our underwear, assault, when we organized a pillow fight, loitering and trespassing when we were either doing events in malls or having our fake protests. We had to worry about impersonating a government official when we did a prank where we dressed up like coroners and took our body bag for a walk. Things like that. And I have actually showed up to flash mobs with copies of Arizona law in my back pocket in the event that the cops came up to us and accused us of doing something wrong. There's also this wonderful / awful catch-all law called disorderly conduct, which is probably the most common thing that flash mobbers are accused of doing wrong, which is kind of what they accuse you of when they don't know what you're doing wrong, but they think it's wrong. And then always be aware of at flash mobs, especially now that everyone has a smartphone, there will be videos and photos taken of you at the event. That, once you put it online, is evidence that can and will be used against you in the event that you've done something wrong. Also, if it shows up on Flickr or YouTube, not just your friends are going to see it, probably also your family, maybe your boss. So people may be asking you about what you did on Saturday afternoon come Monday morning in the office. And if you're going to do a flash mob, you just better be prepared for those questions, and you better be prepared to own it. If you rode the light rail in your underwear during the annual No Pants Light Rail ride, you better be prepared for your boss to say, hey, you look great in purple, if you happen to be rocking purple boxers on light rail. It happens. I've been there. I've done it. I own it. And then the last thing I want to say, just as a general tip, never, ever, ever assume that what you're doing is okay unless you've verified it in advance. I can't stress that enough, because there will always be someone who will accuse you of doing something wrong. So you better have done your homework in advance so you know how to defend yourself. Yep. So
there you have it.
That's what I gotta say.
So, little plug for Improv AZ.
Yes, Improv AZ. This is the flash mob troupe in the Valley I co-founded. We try to do flash mobs about every month. Sometimes it comes out less than that because, hey, we have day jobs and we're busy people too. And then there's also my law firm, Carter Law Firm. On top of flash mob law, I also specialize in intellectual property, business formation and contracts, and social media law.
There you go. Well, you never know what's going to appear on the Smartboard. So thank you, Ruth, for this. This is very informative. I never knew there was so much involved in a flash mob. All right, we're going to give the board a scan, and thanks for tuning in.